Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. So it is Saturday, which means that it is my day for the hashtag Till Death Do Us Craft hop with my crafty crew. And this is my fourth project, my third week, and there are 2 more weeks left in October, so I don't have a lot more coming. This is the cute little card we're going to make today. It is from, the little bear is from the Happy Haunting Halloween set from Mama Elephant. And so I am just going to jump right in. That panel that you see there on my stencil that I'm trying to emboss, that I keep doing backwards, that is just left over from another project, and I had some distress oxides and decided to use that little scrap of paper just to dab up that ink. I hate to waste my ink, and I've gotten so many backgrounds just out of dabbing up leftover ink. So there you can see the stencil dry embossed design on that. I really wanted it to be more prominent, if you will, but I couldn't do it. And I'm sure again that it's operator error. I know the first time I ran it through, I actually had the paper down backwards. So look at your machine. It will tell you the proper sandwich to use, but the one thing to keep in mind, if you're die cutting or if you're dry embossing with a stencil or a die, you want to have your die on the bottom, and then the part that you want embossed, not debossed but embossed, you want that to face either your stencil or your die, whatever it is you're using to dry emboss. You want, the part that you want raised to face it. So lesson learned. As far as the sandwich though, look at your machine and adjust it as needed because each machine's a little bit different. The paint that I'm using to add these glorious splatters is Brutus Monroe Aqua Pigments, and that whole palette that you saw in my hand was left over from another project as well because I hate to waste the ink. And you know, it reconstituted with a strange consistency, but it worked for the splatters. So now I have the splotches in the background from the Oxide ink, and I have the splatters up front and more prominent, just adding the layers and the interest to this panel. And so I decide that obviously I have to dry it before I move forward because some of those spots or those splatters, they're splotches. Some of them are still very wet. They're very thick. So hit it with my heat tool, make sure it's dry so I don't smear anything, get my fingers in it. And then I decide that the little bear that I'm using is left over from another project as well. Almost everything I'm using is leftover stuff from my stash. So the bear and the panel were just sitting on my desk, and I was like, serendipity, because they match perfectly. So as I'm working, I decide that my little bear needs a landing place, something to stand on. So I love this ribbon. This is not leftover, but it is from a crafty stat. It wasn't a stash, it was a swap. And it was probably 2 years ago now. But I pulled that out and it was perfect, so I measured it and taped it down. And then these little fibers that I'm using are burlap fibers left from another project that I did a couple weeks ago. And it just worked together. I like the juxtaposition of the rough hewn, if you will, burlap fibers against the beautiful organza ribbon. I think that's a fun contrast. And of course I lift the whole thing up on foam tape and I center it on my panel the best that I can because I have a crooked eye and I never get everything perfectly straight, but it works. Then I audition my bear yet again and I pop him up on some foam tape, and I really like him over there on the right. It looks like he's just starting his trick-or-treat journey, and that the ribbon and the twine look like they would be his road for trick-or-treating. So reviewing it, I decided I wanted to put the Happy Haunting up on top with him. I was going to stamp it down below the line, but I decided I'd put that there in front of him, and I like it. I stamped it in brown. It is, I think it's Gathered Twigs from Pink Fresh Studio. And then here I've pulled out a bowl of confetti from Studio Katya, and most of these colors match that background perfectly. On the bottom right, I start with clear and or like a frosty white, and then as I move my way diagonally up the panel, I add different shades of blue. And then the last blue is a perfect match to the Brutus Monroe Aqua Pigment Splats. And then here you can see I was adding the Nouveau Crystal Glaze. It's on his trick-or-treat bucket, his hat, and his cape, and that is my card. I think it's adorable. Let me know what you guys think. Is it too simple? Is it too cutesy? Or is it just right? Because not everybody likes the grungy, complicated, scary messes that I make sometimes. But this is it. So guys, remember, hashtag till death do us craft. Enter that hashtag. You'll be able to see all the different offerings that I've provided this month, plus my crafty crew from this whole year, and well, from this month, this year. And then everybody from last year as well, because we're using the same hashtag. So you can see all the projects. I actually just did that over on Instagram this morning, and there's some amazing inspiration. Hashtag till death do us craft. Guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're alerted every time I post something new. Definitely drop me a comment downstairs about what your thoughts about this card and your preference in terms of spooky cute, spooky creepy, spooky gory, whatever your preference is for Halloween stuff. So until next time, I'll meet you downstairs in the comments, and this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. I'm out.